Hello again. Well, so far I have notched the back so that it actually fits on the car. So I cut the curve for the back hatch here. You can see there's the mounting surface. There was no material here. I'm going to fill it in, but this can move up a little bit and go into these bolt holes, mounting holes right here. And then there's also holes along this rail underneath here. You can see it there. So again, I'll have to fill in this area, but this area will come off of the hatch that I have made. I'll cut it and splice it in. But it's not going to be this far out. You can see that there's quite a gap here between the door where it belongs way up here. So that's what I've got to work out next. But I had to get the rear end located so then I can make adjustments of everything else. So that's where we're at now. It does look like this could move forward a little bit more, or I cut a little too much off, don't know which. I'll work on that. Not that critical yet, but we'll be in real quick. All right, so the next thing to do is gotta figure out what to do with the front end. Now that I have the back end located, gotta do the front end. Front end's a little too low. Look, there's the fender and the wheel opening. So obviously I don't want it way down there. So this needs to come up, all right? In order to do that, it's got to pivot around that back area that I have mounted. If you watch, it'll go up a little bit and then it starts hitting the trunk lid. So that's not going to work. So what I need to do is I need to open up the trunk lid, and that will allow this to move like it needs to move. I could just come in and trim this trunk lid right there, but my goal was to try not to modify the C8 body panels if possible. So I'm not sure. I probably will have to modify this. I just don't see any way around it. But anyway, or I might notch this for now. I don't know. Like I said, I'll determine what to do when I get down there. Let's see. So the next thing to do would be to open up that trunk lid so that I can put the body panel where it belongs. So let me get my remote. Oh, wasn't latched because it won't shut because of that. All right. Okay, so now I can come over here. And if you look, now when I lift up on this, it has room to move up at least to there. Same problem there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wedge this. You can hear my neighbor flying. They're flying. They do that a lot. The front, I'm going to lift up the front and wedge it where it belongs. The goal of this now is I've got to cut the door opening. So if you look here, there's the door opening. So what I'm going to do is this part of the fender back, it's going to mount just like the factory does. So it's going to mount right here. The door is going to be separate. So what I've got to do is I've got to cut this where this edge is, mount this to this part of the body, mount the back, and then the back will be all one piece like that. Then I'll come back and figure out exactly what to do with the front end. But again, got to get the back end located. Got to locate something first permanently. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm locating the back, getting it to look like I want it to, basically, which is where it is now. I would love for it to be that low in the front, but that's just not practical without doing extensive modifications to the front, which is not my goal. All right. So I'm having to make a lot of design compromises to make this work, but I knew that going up front. I decided, you know what? I want to use this chassis. I want to use this car. So I'm going to modify a C2 Corvette to fit this car instead of modifying the car to fit a C2 Corvette. So two different approaches to the same thing. I'm taking this approach. All right. So I'm going to play around with adjusting the front and propping it up and using my cinder blocks and pieces of wood and whatever it takes to get it to look right. Then once I do that, I can draw that line and cut that panel. Once I cut that panel, then I can clearly see what I'm doing. Right now, I'm kind of blind. I can't see what that door curve is. I should have taken a piece of paper or cardboard, put it against the door, traced it, And then I could just put it on the outside, make sure I line up the top of the door opening, the bottom of the door opening, and I would have that curve. But I didn't think to do that. The challenge now is I can't get in the car because both of the body panels cover up the doors. There's no way to get in the car. So I have to get it to a point to where I can take the body off so that I can at least get in and out of the car. All right, be sure and like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.